You went from being a person who so many of us were excited to see be on his own and do his own thing and actually get into the nitty gritty and the nuances of these real conversations. True journalism outside of the propaganda and the bias. You went from being a guy we were excited about seeing outside of the mass media machine, and you turned into something that is quite literally worse than even the worst of them. And they are downright terrible. I'm talking to you, MSDNC. Terrible. You have found a way to be worse than them when it comes to, I guess, your agenda, your motive, the reason why you now do what you do. Now, it would be easy for me to accuse you of a multitude of things, but I feel that it's probably much more powerful to just go ahead and show. You know what I mean? So shout out to my guy, Nathan Livingston. I recently did an interview with him, otherwise known as Milkbar TV. If you guys have not checked out his work, make sure to check out his work. If not, check out our interview. The man has, he's been doing the damn thing. He has been revealing these demons for exactly who they are, using their own words for a very long time. So I'm going to go ahead and get into this video here, which I feel would do more explaining than not. So hope you got time today, because I do.
It's a large number of Muslims around the world who are sympathetic to these acts of craziness. Pew Research poll findings that 1 of every 4 Muslim Americans younger than 30 believe suicide in the defense of Islam is justifiable. For instance, do you believe that Arabs carried out 11 attacks? Only 40% believe Arabs carried them out. Do they think the Jews did it? I get that decent Muslim Americans feel under attack. They feel like they're being unfairly portrayed as terrorists. I understand all that. But at some point, you have to say, this really is a real problem, and it's discrediting all of us, and until we take it seriously, it's going to continue, no?
We can debate the details here, but I think it's important to acknowledge a baseline, and that is that there have been an awful lot of attacks where actual people died in the United States and in Europe, committed by people saying really clearly we're acting in the name of Islam. Hasidic Jews, I mean, they're a set-apart community, speak a different language, not assimilated, but I don't see a lot of terror attacks committed by those groups. Often.
You guys heard that, right? You heard that?
He's like, you know what Islam means? Submission. And like, let it hang in the air like that was self-evidently disgusting. And I was like, I kind of think submission to God is like the whole point of life, but I didn't say anything. I was like,
that crack must be hitting different in Qatar. I mean, he just spazzes out. Now, look, yes, I'm going to get into the point at hand. As much as we could just have a kiki of a time over here, just cackling away, we need to get down to business. So, the man went from the not only justified perspectives that he had around Islam, but the validated reality of how Islam has manifested throughout the Western world, including the United States, and how we have been victims to that as well. He went from articulating that to, well, I mean, what's so bad about submission to God, Allah? What's so bad about submitting to a quote-unquote God who calls for every single one of these acts of terror that you, in your history, have denounced, have covered, have maybe sometimes been the only voice who was willing to say the whole damn thing on a network television? Now, I'm not going to, take away from the Glenn Becks of the world. I'm not going to take away from the Bill O'Reillys of the world who've been talking that talk. Who even, in my youth, I was told they were racist, so I couldn't really listen to them, right? Because they hated black people, right? Turns out that they might have been the least racist out of that entire clannish sort of mainstream media circuit that was running at that time. But here is a man who is now having us second guess whether or not this thing is so bad after all. What could shift a man from seeing so clearly to all of a sudden essentially siding with the very same thing that he once denounced? There's one of two things. And I know this is simplifying it, but, I don't think it actually gets any deeper than this. One is you're genuinely convinced. There is an actual conviction. And number two is there is an ulterior motive. You're a liar and you're getting something for that lie, or, you know, you are creating a narrative based upon some sort of financial, I can't even think of most other incentives unless, you know, it's like the guys who will convert to a religion for a girl type of thing, or pretend to be liberals for a chick. It's like, it could be that, but with the Tucker situation, it's not. There's a financial benefit, which is the one that I've leaned the most heavily on based upon the receipts that I've seen thus far. And I feel like it's so much worse.